Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Tuesday, December 15th. What do we got, like 2.5 weeks, and this dumpster fire of a year will be over. I'm sure you're looking forward to that. Many people are. Today, I'm so glad you're joining me. Today, I want to talk about Jimmy Dore. It looks like he got a brand new place, or new to him, out in Hollywood, in LA. He's had a lot of success. I want to talk about his success, but I also want to talk about political bubbles and why, even if you are a Trump fan, libertarian, someone that doesn't care for Jimmy Dore, why you may be interested in what he has to say. So let me first turn my flames on. It's always important when you're in a jungle studio to have your flames on. But let's not bury the lead. Jimmy Dore buys a $1.9 million house in the San Fernando Valley. Let's go to the story from Variety. Political commentator Jimmy Dore buys rambling LA compound. Jimmy Dore, the Pasadena-based comedian turned political commentator known for his YouTube famous The Jimmy Dore Show and for his time with the Young Turks, has spent $1.9 million to upgrade into a distinctively cozy, charming compound in LA's San Fernando Valley. Located in the leafy pocket of Studio City, Dore's new purchase clocks in at 2,800 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 4 full baths, all of them divided among the 3-bedroom main house, a separate 1-bedroom guest house with its own private yard, and an additional studio with private balcony. So the story goes on to just go on and on about this fantastic place that Jimmy Dore was able to pick up last month. And on the screen, I've been showing you pictures from the Realtor.com site that listed it. Guess that's what happens when you get famous. You know, everybody knows where you live. They put it out in the press. So there's not much you can do to hide from that. But it is truly a gorgeous place among Hollywood, right? It's not that big a deal. But I think to the average person living in America, you look at this and you go, that's a pretty nice house. I'd like to live there. And I just want to congratulate Jimmy for being so successful that he was able to do that, especially in a time like now when, you know, it hasn't been the best year for a lot of people. But I just want to give you full disclosure. I'm a fan of Jimmy. Here's a picture of when I met him a year and a half ago when he was here in Portland. I've seen him a couple times live. This was over at the Alberta Rose Theater. Met him and the whole gang. Very nice. He's a lot funnier on stage than on his political commentary show. That's probably obvious. But he's very funny live. His wife, Stephanie, was very kind. She met my mom and was very patient and nice to her. And anyone that does that, I'm forever not going to say anything bad about you. So, and this is a thing, and it just kind of shows that indeed some people can actually make money, make a living, talking about the news on YouTube. Jimmy Dore has been able to do this. There are several other people that are able to do this. So far, me, not so much. So far, I don't make enough to buy my own coffee, but that's what happens when you've only got a few thousand subscribers. You know, it is funny that people reach out to me and they say, Tom, why don't you go on Jimmy Dore's show? Why don't you go on someone else's show? And it's a bit naive because, you know, my videos get a couple hundred views, right? None of these people know who I am. Would I make a great guest? Of course I would. But unless this channel grows and unless it can get thousands of views per video, that'll never happen. So that's why it's important for you to like, share, comment. The most important thing is to share, because the algorithm certainly isn't sharing my work. And you can help me grow, and then maybe at some point I'll get big enough that I can get invited on some of these shows. Now, I do want to discuss the idea of political bubbles. We all have our own political bubbles. I certainly do. I live here in Portland, Oregon. I will say that almost every friend I have, almost every person I know, this is a stereotype, but it's dead on. New York Times, OPB, which is the Oregon Public Broadcasting. They'll listen to NPR, and they may check out a really awful local alternative weekly paper that is just a rag. That's where they get all their news. That's their only filter on what's happening in the world. And I got to tell you, all of those people have no clue about reality, in my opinion, because they're in a bubble. They don't look outside their bubble, and it just gets repeated over and over again. And that's why I will bring up something to a friend of mine, and they'll never have heard of it. Not a word of it, because they're in a one little tiny bubble. And unless it's covered in the New York Times, unless it's on MSNBC, they don't know about it at all. And that's why it's important for you to step outside of your bubble as well. So perhaps, you're a libertarian, you're a Trump supporter. What do you care about Jimmy Dore? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you probably have more in common with him than you think. Now, I don't agree with Jimmy on everything, and that makes sense because I don't agree on everything that I said a year ago, right? We all change. We all have our own filter on reality, and we all have different experiences. So I may know something that he may not, and, we all have our own biases. I don't look to Jimmy Dore to find out things that I can get mad about and disagree about and dunk on him on. I could do that, but that's not what interests me. What interests me is getting a different point of view that I'm not getting from my particular bubble, from the filter that I have on the world. And so that's why I would encourage every one of you that if you're in a bubble, and you are, to maybe get the point of view of some other people, even if you don't agree with them, because they may bring something to light, get you to understand a different point of view. And even if that's so that you can dunk on them, I think it's an important thing to do. I like Jimmy Dore. I think that he was a big person that talked about Russiagate all the time. He had a lot of people on his show that really explained it well. And if you followed him, I think that you would have been on board that this Russiagate thing was nonsense from the get-go. Now, again, I don't agree with him on everything, but I don't agree with anyone on everything. And I'm sure that you don't agree with everything that I say. But what I really appreciate about my audience is I know that I have people from all over the political spectrum. You leave comments. You might even point me to a story that I haven't heard about or give me a point of view that I didn't know about. And that's what makes this worthwhile for me. You make this worthwhile for me by sharing your own experience. It means more than you think. But until this channel can get bigger, it's just going to be me, right? I'm not going to be going on anyone else's shows. So be sure to hit that like button. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video. That would be awesome if we could do this. And as always, I would like to know what you think of this. What do you think of Jimmy Dore's new place out in Studio City? I think it's beautiful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have an awesome day. Peace.